If you have ever suspected that your spouse is committing immigration fraud, you need to watch this video. Hello, I'm attorney Lee Marvin, and I've been practicing law for over 20 years and specializing in immigration law for over a decade. My main office is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I help people, families, individuals from any state in the country and really any country on the planet. Stick around for just a couple minutes because I want you to be prepared in the event you discover your spouse is only using you for legal status, okay? So, more and more since the pandemic, immigrants have become so desperate to get legal status in the United States that they don't care who they have to lie to, they don't care who they have to use to get their status, okay? Sadly, I've had more than a few clients in this situation who got married in good faith, but as time marched on, they discovered that their spouse was lying to them just to get the green card. I know this is not a shocker for a lot of people, but it is for the person who honestly thought that their spouse was starting life with them, not just using them for a green card, okay? So 2 weeks ago, I got a call from a client who was very distraught, very upset, because she recently discovered that her husband was doing just this, okay? She came to terms. She had a feel in the pit of her stomach that this was the case, but it finally came to a head because he decided to move to a different location. He moved because it was closer to his new job, okay? Yeah, there was more going on there. She knew it, she suspected it, but she finally admitted to herself that that's what was going on, okay? So she was pretty disgusted when she discovered that all their dating, all their time here in the United States, their marriage was completely fake just so he could get a green card, okay? She was embarrassed and more than a bit worried because she's worrying about what this impact is going to be on her life, because she filed income taxes with the guy, she helped him obtain credit to buy a truck. You get the idea. This happens to people. It's so sad, which is why I want you to see this video, okay? You do not want immigration accusing you, the sponsor, of committing or helping to commit, basically conspiracy to commit immigration fraud, okay? You certainly don't want the IRS asking uncomfortable questions about your joint tax return, okay? So what can a U.S. citizen or legal permanent resident sponsor do if this has happened to them? I always advise clients to do these 4 things because this has happened many times, so I'm always advising clients about this, okay? Number 1, call and write to USCIS informing them of the fraud and explain to them in detail what happened so they can take the appropriate action against the immigrant. Most of the time, what does that mean? Cancellation of the green card and deportation, okay? 2, do not help the immigration case move forward anymore in any way whatsoever. Your new goal is to let the case lapse or to get closed by USCIS without taking any steps that could be seen by immigration as misrepresentation on your part to the government, okay? You don't want to misrepresent to the government ever, okay? 3, do not sign any new contract or application for any commercial purpose, such as credit cards, car loans, home loans, store credit cards, you name it, because you will be left with a bill or a lawsuit for fraud. So don't do it. 4, file for divorce immediately. And that may be the most important long-term for sure. Immediately. When? Immediately file for divorce. Only this will protect you if you are called into court for having to pay marital debts that you either knew or didn't know was taken out by your significant other, okay? If you can show either duress or fraud or something like that in court, usually you can get out of having to pay for somebody else's bills, okay? Because it's not fair. If you didn't know this was going on and somebody was tricking you, you shouldn't have to be responsible for that. But that's only going to happen if you show things like divorce as soon as you discover this problem You file for a divorce. Well, what's that going to look like to a judge? It's going to look like you did the right thing when you knew you had to. Okay, if you don't, I'm not sure what will happen, but it's not as good of a situation, and you're always going to be stuck. Okay, so if this has happened to you, and if you have questions about how this impacts your life or how to get out of this problem, you can click on the following link to reach me directly. If you like the information in this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and you can click on the notification bell to get notified of future videos like this. Call me if you have questions. I don't want you to be stuck in this position like several other of my clients.